Yo, what's goody, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. It's your host, Dre from PG. Welcome back, man. Assassin 4, we already know how we do it, man. Man, we're going to have an interesting conversation today. But before we get into that, let's do this roll off real quick. First, shout out to my boy, D, Dr. Esquire Day. What's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. On this episode, I'm going to do like Ludacris saying, move, bitch, get out the way.
And then, of course, we got 910's finest, man. What's good, BT?
I'm chilling, man. Y'all niggas good?
Man, I don't know, man. I came into this pod with a heavy heart, man. Some recent news just dropped, and we can talk about that later. But right now, I gotta stay focused, man. I gotta stay focused. So, of course, we have to bring in. Welcome back, DGM Brad. What's good with you, my boy?
Not much, man. How's everyone doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm trying to stay positive, man. But damn, man, it's tough out here. It's tough.
I think the pod as a group, we're mourning right now. So, viewers, if you stay with us, we're in mourning a little bit.
If it helps, Chanae don't have her wedding ring anymore. So, I mean, there's always hope. There's always hope.
Thanos always say, we need balance in the universe, man. We need balance. Man, speaking of that grind, that hustle, man, what's good, my boy T?
All this marriage talk, bro. I'm married to the game, bro.
Nah, for real, I feel it. But look, man, we got a special guest today. Welcome back to the show, a friend, man. What's good with you, Royal?
Chilling, man. Another day, another dollar, bro.
I feel it. Man, before we get into this big discussion, man, let's just do some housekeeping real quick, kind of end the basketball season for a little bit. We have some breaking news first. Chris Paul, he went to the Clippers. He's going back to LA for his alleged last season. So, any quick thoughts? Quick round five, real quick. Any quick thoughts about Chris Paul? They're already saying there's some games he might not even play, but we kind of know that he's pretty much like trying to be on the contending team to end his career. So, any quick thoughts before we move on from this discussion on Chris Paul?
He should have just went to State Farm.
That's crazy.
If Chris Paul's retiring, does that mean Cliff got to retire too?
Cliff been gone.
It's like, we ain't seen Cliff in years.
I guess Cliff retired early. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I'll just say this about the Clippers now. I mean, this is either going to go well or it's going to just be another 2014 Brooklyn Nets. Because the age of the starting lineup is like an average of like 35.
Crazy.
I think. So
Crazy.
This could go really well or it could go really bad. I don't think there's any in between.
I don't got nothing to say about that nigga, man.
T Royal.
I think it was important for them to mention in the press release that, like you said before, there are some games he won't play, but I think a key word they mentioned in the press release was that he'll have a reserve role, because I think a lot of people had it misconstrued that he wanted to go to a contender ultimately, but get a lot of playing time. And they made it known from the jump that when he comes back to L.A., it's going to be solely for a reserve role off the bench and not starting. So that was huge.
I mean, I respect what the Clippers are trying to do in an era where a lot of teams are shedding salary to get below the second apron. They're going for it. But like you said, they had one of the oldest rosters, if not the oldest roster in the NBA. Kawhi, we all know, can they get him healthy in the playoffs? When he gets there, we know what he can do, but will he make it there? Bradley Beal, how is he going to fit in? You have James Harden. Him and Chris Paul have had an icy relationship before, so there's a lot of dynamics at play. Ty Lue's going to have his hands full, but, I mean, if anybody can handle it, Ty Lue can. But, I mean, the Clippers are a contender out in the West, but, I mean, the West is loaded, bro. We already know, man. When you got that team, Oklahoma City, Denver, some of the other teams out west. Yeah, Houston, Dallas, if Kyrie's healthy.
Minnesota.
On them. Minnesota's still going to be relevant. The Lakers have made some moves as well, so getting Marcus Smart.
Warriors going to make a punch. Warriors going to have a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
It just hit me.
We haven't mentioned the Spurs.
Have y'all thought about this? This honestly could be like the start of Chris Paul's coaching career. Like him having more of a reserve role, pretty much sitting closer to the coach, just like learning and soaking up all of the coaching knowledge that he can get from an NBA standpoint. Since it's going to be games he's not playing, Like, might as well just give him the clipboard at times and see what he can do.
But I put it like this: as much disdain and grief I give Chris Paul, he's already kind of been like that for the past like 4 or 5 years, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's been playing, but he already I will say he does have a good basketball IQ. And then, like we said, one of his biggest strengths is like everywhere he goes, he just makes that team better. At least for like the first couple of seasons. So
that OKC year was crazy.
Exactly, like that was supposed to be like a tank down year, and he got them to the playoffs. So
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
So like I do gotta give him his props. Like he does have a high basketball IQ and that kind of quote unquote like leadership quality where he just sets things in motion and gets people in the right places. And he does help younger players because he was doing that in his role in San Antonio with like helping Wemby and Stephon Castle. So. I mean, I think
that's the reason why I said that, mainly because I'm thinking of it from a more standpoint where he's going to start learning situational basketball. Because I don't think that he's really got into those situational basketball where he had to like call timeouts or call plays. So if he's soaking up that knowledge, that's going to actually put him in play for a coaching role in about a year or two. And who would say no to that, to be completely honest?
I mean, we could say this topic for another day. I just have a way of like automatically just putting players in coaching position. Like I'd rather like you to be like an assistant or something before we just automatically just put you in the head coaching seat. So, but we could say that conversation for another day because I do want to mention, and I know a lot of y'all were kind of happy about the Charlotte Hornets were the summer league champions out in Vegas. There was a lot of noise, a lot of people upset couple of weeks ago on a certain player, but that certain player won Summer League MVP. All I'm gonna say is you just gotta wait and see. You just gotta wait and see. So are the jokes quieted down at least until the beginning of the season, or we still got some skeptics out here? Because that tune changed in that chat real quick. That tune in that chat changed real quick. I'm gonna call y'all out. Y'all changed that tune real quick.
I'm gonna keep it a stack.
I was harsh. I was too harsh. I admit it.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. It's not just because of Kanye. A lot of us UNC fans, bro. We didn't want that Duke nigga on the squad, bro. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? The dude was hooping though, bro. He hooped in some of them 4 games that boy played. Son, I said, all right, Con, you got it, bro. You got it.
I mean, I said that it was a good fit. The problem with my issue with the draft pick is not even really, truthfully, honestly, it's not even really Colin Knippel. I know what he can do with LaMelo off the ball, shooting, his passing, underrated playmaker off of pick and roll. That's not the issue I had. The issue I had is more about the Hornets and PTSD. We were drafted and we were the number 4 in the draft. And I felt like we picked a fit versus potentially upside. Like I think that Ace Bailey and Trey Johnson have a little bit higher ceiling, but Colin Knippel has a lower floor. So it was more of a safer pick. But in the situation that we have, when you have LaMelo and Brandon Miller already on the team, and you have Trey Mann, Colin's just got to come in and basically shoot. And that's one thing he does exceptionally well is shoot the basketball. And he can make plays on pick and roll. He's great.
About to say that.
I'll give him that, bro.
That's what I'm about to say,
my
bro.
issue honestly really wasn't with Colin Knippel. It was really just PTSD from seeing the Hornets pass on guys who ended up being star players down the road.
No, I completely understand. I got pretty much the same thing dealing with the Wizards. I always feel like if we're not picking in the top 3, it's just a crapshoot because we just don't know what we're gonna do. But I think we just gotta see how both teams do with their new draft picks. BT, I was too tired, but I saw you put in the chat like apparently there's beef between our organizations. I don't know where that
came out of nowhere.
This must be about Ace still. I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
I thought that's what it was, but apparently it was saying something to the point of like they both fan bases trying to find out or say who's going to have the most upside on their team from their younger squad and everything, and then other NBA teams and they're then jumped into it. So there's a lot of fan bases.
First of all, fuck the Knicks fans because I know what their agenda is. They want us to win. I know why they want us to win. So fuck that. But I don't know why these other fan bases because like it's just funny to me. I was like,
funny.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I mean,
Like, I know,
that was hilarious.
yeah, crazy, man.
but before we get to our next topic, y'all think, Summer League champion, you think this is something that can carry over into the off season for the rest of this off season, going into like training camp and the start of the next season?
I'm gonna say it like this, bro. Like, as long as them boys stay healthy, bro, that's the biggest thing with Charlotte, bro.
Health.
They can't stay healthy, bro. Like LaMelo and B Millie only played like 20 games together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a lot. If they stay healthy, I think the culture that Charles Lee trying to build there, I can see it popping out. You can pause, but y'all can see it come. I can see it, happening. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My
And then the East is wide open too.
Yeah, they should make the play-in at least. Really, it should be a playoff team because I'm looking at some of the rosters just on talent. Some of these teams, they're not. They might be a little bit more talented, but not that much more talented than we have. We just don't have. We've never been healthy, so play-in tournament this year at least, and I expect to actually make the playoffs as an 8 seed, 7-8 seed, but just make the play-in tournament.
I would say play-in tournament, especially with the moves we made in the offseason and then the way Khan played in the summer league. Play-in tournament or bust, in my opinion, because this is a pivotal time period for the Hornets with all these draft picks that we got coming up in the next couple of years. What direction are we going to go? So I'm like T, and BT as well. It's health and it's playoffs or bust this year, really. You got to see what you got to have with the squad that we have, with B. Millie coming back, with LaMelo coming back. Obviously, me and Tance have talked about it. I guess we're keeping Miles Bridges at this point in time. You drafted Khan. You got other pieces you brought in, a Colin Sexton, some of these other guys you brought in. You signed Trey Mann. This is all now got to culminate into it being a breakout year for this team. Can we be a team like Detroit that pops up and ends up being in that 1 through 5, 1 through 6 slot? At most, maybe 7 or 8 and getting that playing as a higher seed than having it battle at that 9 or 10 spot. So that's what I want to see. That's what I'm hoping for. And BT made a good point. The culture that Charles Lee is trying to bring in, Charles Lee is trying to bring into Charlotte, I think is important as well. I think he's got some guys in there that's been in the league, maybe some different type of vets and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see how all this is going to roll up come October, November when the season starts, and how we can keep this team healthy and rolling off of the summer league success into the regular season.
Yeah, just pretty much like how everybody just stated. It comes down to health, but at the same time, I think I'm not going to say I think they're banking on LaMelo and B Miller being healthy, because you chose to have Trey Mann return. You chose to go out and get a Colin Sexton as well. Like, that's 18 points right there off the bench in a Colin Sexton. We know what Trey Mann can do as well. Yeah, and you also have him.
They ain't gonna do shit.
I'm just saying.
Crypto merchant. What are you talking about?
He will sit on the bench, but
that too. But I'm saying he can be a reserve. This case.
So like,
well, we know Melly, he gonna get hurt. So
I like the rotation of what the guards look like. It's gonna be a lot of great guard play that's gonna be going on, which this is a guard-driven league at this point, with the big man is coming back. But still, it's a guard-heavy league. So for us to have 4 guards that we pretty much know what we can get out of them, and if all of them are healthy, that's going to be consistent, like, ability to spread the floor. You have someone like a B. Miller who can shoot, who can slash, who can do what we need to do. Same thing with LaMelo, who can facilitate and can also break down the offense and can shoot. Same thing with a Trey Mann. Like, it's pretty much we have the same thing in our backcourt. So that's what I actually like, that what we are actually putting on the floor. As it comes with a Khan, we've seen what Khan can do. Like, shout out to the White Power Ranger. That's what I'm calling him right now. That's Tommy Oliver.
The heel turn is crazy. The heel turn is crazy. Last week he was a clan member. This week he's a Ghost Ranger.
Oh God.
Cook, brother.
This is the sickest 180 I see in a minute, boy. Vince Carter could have dumped this shit, bro.
I was about to say. I know Cino trying to be like Mac McClung over there.
Hey, that's my nephew. Shout out to my nephew. But yeah, so like I'm interested to see what they can do. I'm not gonna like overexcited and say that they can be a top 5 seed. I'm just gonna say that it's gonna be a very interesting season coming out of Charlotte. I'm not going to say that they're going to be a bottom of the pack team. I'm not going to say they're going to be a top of the pack team. But like how we all in consistent says, as a consistent, y'all know the word I'm trying to say.
Consensus,
yeah.
Yeah.
They should be a play-in team at worst.
One question I have for Terrence, and have you heard anything about kind of the man left out of the conversation? What do you think we're going to do with Nick Smith Jr.? Is he gone? Do we just put him on ice? I wonder what do they do with him, because he's a talent.
I don't know. We don't have to
drafted
make a
him
trade
for a reason. So
we have too many roster spots. So somebody's gonna get traded. There's more money to be made. I don't know what they're gonna make.
Hey, Bad. What you're gonna have to do is go to ESPN, hit that trade machine button, and see what's out there, dog. That's because that's what it's looking like, and it's unfortunate because he is a talent. I was high on him before the draft, and I know his draft stock fell because he got hurt while he was in college, but I think he's still serviceable. So we just got to wait and see.
He has an insane upside if he has the opportunity. We've seen what he can do when given the opportunity to get those minutes.
Yeah.
But
fellas,
all right. Yeah, we got done with the under.
We got to mourn again, bro, because this might be the last time we talk hoops until training camp, unless we do some W stuff. So as far as the NBA goes,
unless some like Sunday, unless some like crazy like trade all season will happen. We gotta wrap this NBA year up, man. Now that we got the undercard discussions out the way, we got a main topic that we gotta get to, and since this might kind of get kind of heavy in this joint, I'm gonna pass it off to my boxing expert because I think he knows how to handle a ring. So T, you, my boy, you can take it over from here. The show is yours. Right. I'm gonna just be here I'm gonna be in the corner. I'm gonna be in the corner.
I'm chilling right now. I'm gonna say, where's my popcorn at? Shit.
Bro, I was thinking the same thing. Like a movie theater. I got Sour Patch Kids. What are you talking about?
So we had discussion about one topic that led to a discussion about another topic. So we want to start the initial topic first. So there's been a lot of Jalen Hurts chatter, a lot of like QB rankings and stuff. Remind me, Corey, what was your position on Jalen Hurts and Royal? After Corey says his position, what was your position? And then we'll take the conversation from there, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So
my position was, and which I stated it last week. Yeah, he's a top 5 QB. He's right there at number 5. But I also understood Cam's place and what he was saying by saying that he wasn't a top 10 QB at all. I completely understood that. And today he actually broke down the reasoning why he says that, and I still understand it. I double down more on understanding why he said that, but I still point blank period think that he's a top 5 right there at number 5.
Okay. And Roy, what was your position on this?
So this is my position. When Cam initially came out and gave his segment on Jalen Hurts, he came out the gates and said that first off, Justin Herbert doesn't belong in the top 10. And then he retracted his statement 5 minutes later and said that, he's in the top 10 when he put his top 10 list on there, which led to the producer saying, I thought you just said that he wasn't in the top 10. So my stance is this. If you're going to give Jalen Hurts his stats and say he had 2,900 yards passing, 18 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and try to downplay and say, hey, he doesn't belong in the top 10 based off the stats and the personnel that's surrounded around him, then don't forget to put his rushing yards in there also. And something else that Cam Newton forgot to do was, we know that Jalen Hurts only played in 14 games last year, right? He somehow forgot to put that in there, but he brought up Tua playing in 11 games, which I find very contradicting. So if he played in 14 games, he compared him to 11 games, and Justin Herbert played in 17, but then put the rushing yards in there, then let's call a spade a spade. Throw all the stats out there. Don't just put the passing yards, 18 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But what's funny to me is Cam Newton, who was a rushing quarterback, is so all into the pocket passing quarterback now. So if you're going to be on your stance, put all the stats out there. That's my only stance on it. I believe Justin Herbert is a top 15 quarterback. I don't believe Justin Herbert's a top 10 quarterback. It's just hard for me to leave a Super Bowl MVP quarterback out of the top 10. I don't believe Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback after this last season, just because, like you said before, he has so much talent around him. I get where Cam is going with the whole talent around him, who's involved, and you got two number 1 receivers possibly. You got the best running back in the game who could have had 2,000 yards if he wasn't rested at last game of the season. I totally get all that completely. But let's not be disrespectful and say that he's not a top 10 quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in my book for sure. I just don't think after this last season he's a top 5 quarterback. That's my stance on it.
Okay. I think what we have here, Roy, because we've worked together in media for 5 years now. Sometimes when people want to push an agenda, especially on these larger platforms, they cherry pick. For example, fellas, we talked about the NBA ratings discussion we had earlier. I broke down Clay Travis and his BS propaganda he was spewing with how they were cherry picking numbers, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here. In my opinion, Justin Herbert is a top 10 talent. But when we have these discussions, are we talking about talent, stats, wins, or is it a combination of both? And I think when people make these, arguments for certain people being on their list, they don't really state the criteria. For example, we just had a discussion last week about Bleacher Report. What was their criteria? Because there's no way on God's green earth that Kobe Bryant is the 11th best player to touch a basketball. So I think Jalen Hurts is somewhere between that 7 to 10 range because he does bring up something that a lot of quarterbacks. He is a physical quarterback. Number one, they try to change the rules because of Jalen Hurts and his literally just the tush push and his leg strength. We got all that back there, and you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts who squats with 500 something, 600 something pounds. Like he's a different breed. Is he the best passer? No, he's not. But I think he's good enough. You know what I'm saying? He came into a situation where they literally Carson Wentz literally was going to be the MVP before he got hurt. He came in. He had to replace him. So he came into a difficult situation and showed flash and show enough to where they even got rid of Carson Wentz. And then I think literally a season or two later, they were in the Super Bowl and almost beat. Actually, the Chiefs won the first time, but he outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Fair?
Except for that fumble. That's the only.
Yeah, I was about to say that fumble changed the whole game because the Eagles moving.
Get to my question because I had that question to Royal, like, what's the game that he would say that is the game? Honestly, I thought that he was going to say that Super Bowl, even though they lost that game. I would have said that game because I felt like he outdueled Patrick Mahomes. I felt like he had the better game, like how we just sit here and said, yes, that fumble hurt him, but he still was outplaying Patrick Mahomes all game.
I like to add on this also that something that kind of just gets swept under the rug. Can somebody tell me how many offensive coordinators Jalen Hurts has had since he's been in Philadelphia?
Three or four.
This is his fourth offensive coordinator they're going to this year that he's had since he's been in Philly since 2020. But that just gets swept under the rug, and we just he's a dual threat quarterback. Oh, what's his best highlight game of his year? I mean, like literally, he's had 4 offensive coordinators, bro. Let's be serious. Doug Peterson was calling the plays to start with before Shane Steichen took over.
Yeah.
And then Kellen Moore last year.
Kellen Moore took over.
Prior to Ben Johnson
last year. Yeah.
Prior to Ben Johnson.
Now it's somebody else.
Exactly. They have somebody else new because Kellen Moore went to the Saints. So I mean, he's had 4 offensive coordinators, bro. 4. For a top 10 quarterback. How many other top 10 quarterbacks have went through 4 offensive coordinators in their first 4 years of the league, bro? On a quarterback that just came off of an MVP and a Super Bowl MVP, man. If you're going to put something out there, put the whole resume out there. Don't just give me some half-stepping bullshit. Call it like it is, bro.
Yeah, Cam.
But let's get to this Tom Brady shit, bro, because this shit got my shit boiling, bro. You know why I'm here, like Marshawn Lynch said. You know why I'm here. Let's get to it, bro. Let's get to it, man. I want to hear this list.
Okay, all right. Let me set the tone first.
Please.
Before I say this, we can disagree, we can get our points across, but at the end of the day, let's just keep it. Whatever, we can disagree. You can state your opinions. I'm gonna moderate this thing, so I'll let one person speak, and then I'll pass the rock off to the next person, and we'll get this debate off. But anyways, so for those of you who don't know, we had a discussion in this chat because I think it was about system quarterbacks. So, Corey, I will let you state your initial position, and then I'll let you state why you feel the way you feel, and then I'll let Royal state his counter position, and then the rest of the group, y'all can get y'all's input in. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool with me.
That's cool.
So, I specifically stated that for most of Tom Brady's career, from the start up until the Atlanta Super Bowl, I felt like he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. The main reason why I stated that is because he worked well in a system. He worked well in a system where he was able to always pass the ball. He was always able to. He knew where everybody was on the field at one time. So. And also, what also made my position stand strong was that season. I want to say it was 2007 or it was 2008 when he was out for the entire year, and you had someone like a Matt Castle who stepped in, and they still went to the Super Bowl. Matt Castle, he gave you a little over 3,000 yards. I want to say it was like 3,200 yards, opposed to Tom Brady doing, I think it was like 37 or 38 the year before, and another like 39 or 4,000 the following year.
Time out. So just for clarity, and like I said, I'm just going to I'm going to push the conversation. The year before the Matt Castle year was actually the year that Tom Brady had the 50 touchdown season, and he had like close to 5,000 yards.
Okay, yeah, that was 5,000. That was 5,000 in, yeah.
All right, my bad. I'm just to bring clarity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, keep going, bro.
All right, cool. Yeah. So after that, you had someone like once again like a Matt Castle who was able to step in. Manage the game and pretty much give you the same amount of production that Tom Brady was giving you earlier in his career and after Tom Brady came back. So that's why I looked at it like that was a system quarterback. He pretty much had the same system installed and in play until that Atlanta season with the Atlanta Super Bowl. That's when I felt like I changed my position on him because he took over that game. Obviously, everybody knows about that Super Bowl is an infamous 28-3 Super Bowl. He took over that game. He was able to drive them back down the field. They were able to get the ball. He won the game. I looked at it like, okay, I see why people say that he's the GOAT at this point. I can't call him that anymore because he took over the game and he did what he was supposed to do. Then he went to Tampa Bay and did the exact same thing. That's with a brand new system, brand new everything. And now I started looking at, okay, maybe it's not Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady. That was my position.
Okay. I disagree with your position, but I have my opinions on it. I can point out the exact moment where I feel different than you because I mean initially people were saying it's a system, but I have a point where I feel like that narrative changed just for me. Like I said, okay, man, real quick before I pass off the role, I know you said you were going to think about a list of QB. Do you have a list that a quarterback?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna let you state your position first, so you can go ahead and state your list.
I'm gonna read them off one by one. Y'all can tell me if you think that is a possibility or not. Aaron Rodgers.
So what's the year? What's the time frame year that we have?
This is from 2001 when Brady came in to 2016 when the Atlanta Super Bowl. That's about a 20-year window.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, talent-wise.
Talent-wise, yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I think that actually hurts your point. We being honest, because there was a lot of plug and play in Pittsburgh. I don't know, Brad. I don't know because y'all had the killer bees, and then y'all still bringing in wide receivers after AB and Le'Veon Bell, and y'all still been at least making it to the playoffs.
He had different offensive coordinators throughout his career. They never, in his entire time while he was in the league, they never had a losing season.
I'll say about Big Ben. Initially, he came in, there was more defense, and then they transitioned to more offense.
Mm-hmm.
He was clutch, though. I won't take that away. Initially, that was a defensive-heavy team, but then they turned to, like you said, when they had the killer bees, they were more offensive-oriented. But okay, I'll let you continue with the list.
Brett Favre.
I mean, he was a top 10 QB during that time period. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I think up until like 2009, you could have Brett Favre in the top 10, but the Saints literally killed that man.
It still pisses me off. That shit still pisses me off.
They did it for Mississippi. We just ain't know yet.
Payne Manning.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's wild. That's wild.
During that time period.
Wild.
Hey man, top 3, top 5.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, top 5 QB during that time. Yeah.
Drew Brees. I hate to say it.
So
because y'all know how I feel about that motherfucker.
I'm just listening as like, okay, what 10 quarterbacks do you believe are better than Tom Brady? And in my
I could argue
like,
that
during that time period, Drew Brees is in my top 10 personally. So
I could argue that
you.
he's a product of the Sean Payton system because we saw him in San Diego and they drafted Phillip Rivers over Brees. I mean, during that time period where he was with Sean Payton, yeah, he was a top 10 quarterback for sure.
I will say I will say this, and I'm going against my entire point with him. He became a system quarterback on the back end of his career. The last 4 to 5 seasons, he became a system quarterback because that's when Sean Payton had to actually more dial up shit, and it was a lot of dunking drop shit. So it was a lot of like passing within 10 to 15 yards, and Michael Thompson had to turn vertical and get up the field. But before then, yeah, I would have to say yes, he was definitely, honestly, top 5.
Okay.
Kurt Warner.
That's only like a short window for Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Well, he was up and down. Like, okay, so even though Brady beat him in the first Super Bowl, at that time, Kurt Warner was MVP, and then after that, they had Mark Bolger. It wasn't that long that Kurt Warner was out of St. Louis. They brought in Mark Bolger, and they had a couple of playoff runs with Mark Bolger, and then he kind of had to find his way. But then he had some good seasons.
He dialed up a lot of shit when they went to the Super Bowl. Even though they lost that Super Bowl, he
was outstanding. Yeah, he played very well. Okay, but I mean, that's only like for Kurt Warner. It's at the very beginning, and then at the end of like the 2000s. That period in between, he was bouncing around. He was basically a backup. But I mean, he had some. I feel like Kurt Warner had some. His highs were very high. So okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this one I'm gonna hurt myself back and forth. Andrew Luck.
Whoa. Whoa.
I can't give you that. Not top 10.
Top 10?
I don't know.
During that time frame.
Talent. Okay.
Talent, yes.
He had talent, but here's the thing with Luck. When every time they played New England with Brady, they got spanked.
Yeah.
And, okay, you can say rosters or whatever, but they got absolutely spanked.
I mean, if we're gonna say that, we shouldn't give Peyton Manning that chance then, because Peyton Manning was getting his ass whooped for years against Tom Brady.
He got over the hump.
He eventually beat him.
He got over
Honestly,
the hump.
though, if you think about it, though, after he got over the hump, Manning actually in the playoffs if you take out the first couple of seasons, Manning actually won more head-to-heads in the playoffs against Brady than Tom Brady was Peyton Manning. Because he beat him twice in Denver. He beat him once in Indy.
Okay.
Yeah. Once in Indy.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, the thing with Luck is Luck could have been one of those guys, but it just never worked out. I blame a lot of that on the Colts organization, honestly.
Yeah. The talent was there. The talent was there all day long.
If you were talking about physical tools and everything, talent-wise, but
that's the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is about talent. Like, you've seen the talent there. It wasn't like, this possibly could be a system quarterback. This could be this type of guy. Like, we know that this person went out and won games. Because there's another person that's on my list that y'all gonna be like, no, but we seen him actually go out and win games, and that's Matt Ryan.
So this is based on talent.
This is based off talent.
If we're going off talent.
But okay, my question to you, Corey, is if this is based off talent, what are Tom Brady's biggest flaws other than athleticism? Because, like, I think the accuracy was there. I think the awareness,
the IQ was there.
The intangibles, the IQ, the presence, the pocket presence, the preparation, like the toughness. I think everything was. I think a lot of things were there. So other than the fact that he couldn't run a 40-yard dash, like what exact? And he couldn't scramble. What are some of the flaws that Tom Brady had?
I didn't say that it was flaws. I just feel like it was people that were higher than him.
So you're saying that
yes,
so what you're saying is overall the system that he got dropped into in New England with Belichick is the reason why you're rating these people over him is the system helped mask the flaws that he had at the end of the day. Exactly.
So that's what I thought beforehand.
Before the Atlanta game, before the Atlanta Super Bowl, all the stuff that Bill Belichick and that
personally, I never saw a game like that from Tom Brady.
I have. Okay. I'm gonna state my position where I feel like he became one of those guys, And as much as it pains me to say
I
it,
know what you're gonna say. I know
pains me
what
to say
I
it,
don't say that. I don't think that. I know what you're gonna say, but I don't think that.
Corey, I'm just
He
looking at
got
the stats.
he got outplayed. He got outplayed by Jake Delhomme.
he was cooking us though, bro.
Okay, I'm just okay. I'm just going with the stats. Tom Brady in that Super Bowl was 32-48, which is 66% completion percentage, 354 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. Jake Delhomme also threw 3 touchdowns, 323 yards as well. So, but at the end of the day, ain't fucking John Casey, but son of a bitch. But anyway,
It's a shame. That was our best kicker in franchise history too. So like,
And then another thing for me, bro. Jake Delhomme was throwing to Smitty. He was throwing to Ricky Pro. He was throwing to Moose. Who was Tom Brady throwing to over there, bro? I think Deion Branch.
I think Terry Glenn was Terry Glenn on that team.
No, not Super Bowl 38. But I'll give you one other game where I feel like Brady had a signature moment. Remember that 06 season where he went into San Diego? That was a stacked Chargers team. They were 14-2. They were the heavy favorites in that game. People thought that was going to be a blowout. Tom Brady had Jabbar Gaffney and Lord knows who else, and he went into San Diego and won that game.
Yes, he had
I think a lot of people forget about that because it wasn't a Super Bowl, but people forget that Chargers team was stacked. They were the prohibitive favorites that year, and Tom Brady went into San Diego with literally nothing and pulled that game out. I think if not Super Bowl 38, I think that's the game for me that I remember because I remember watching that game. I was like, okay, San Diego eventually is going to pull away. They're going to beat these boys, and Tom Brady just kept them around and pulled that game. And to keep it a bean, they were up 21-3 at Indy. And Belichick's defense couldn't hold, and Peyton Manning brought them back. So he had them in position, even that AFC Championship game. I know Peyton Manning had that one pick six, but they were still up 21-3. So I think a lot of people forget that Chargers game because it wasn't a Super Bowl, but that they had he drugged that team to the AFC Championship game. That team had no business even being there, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else agrees or remembers that game, but I remember that game clear as day.
I remember that game, but I also remember LT being hurt too, bro. So you gotta put that into a fact too.
That game, but, I don't think it was hurt. I think you're talking about the next year when they played in the AFC Championship game.
Maybe.
You're talking about the
you're right.
Yeah, this is a division round. This is a division round game.
LT had 123.
Yeah,
they were in San Diego.
Yeah,
they were in San Diego.
This is MVP year, LT.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah. That's my B. Yep.
I'm gonna say my question until I hear the rest of this list.
I think that was the list.
Was that the last person, Corey, or was it one?
Donovan McNabb.
And Donovan was cooking back then. He was.
Okay. McNabb. Who else? So I can let Royal speak.
That was it. I did have some honorable mentions.
Yeah. I'm listening. I've been listening to the whole list. I'm writing everything down, brother.
All right.
What were your honorable mentions, Corey? Real quick, just throw their names out.
And these are just because they beat. They have winning. These two names have winning records against Tom in games. So Cam and Eli. I
Give me the mic,
the reasons why.
Oh boy!
Give me the mic, please, man.
Okay,
yeah, bro.
Go ahead, Royal.
All right, so like I talked to T earlier. So I'm gonna be respectful because I know in the group chat it got kind of heated. I know he don't know me like that, so I'm gonna be very transparent. And when I'm giving off how I feel, because I felt like the disrespect, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I can't stand the Patriots. So to hear me say all this stuff is almost like a mockery, I feel, to me. But just to say he's not top 10 based off the system and the talent and all the other credentials that you just mentioned is complete blasphemous in my opinion. I find it very disingenuous that you even mentioned some of these names. So this is how I'm going to start. You mentioned the system several times throughout your soliloquy. The system this, system that. So that same system by Josh McDaniels went to Denver and over 2 years was 11-17. Talking about scoring offense. They were 20th and 19th in scoring offense. That same system with the Rams. They were dead last in the NFL, 32nd NFL in scoring offense. That same system that you're talking about with Cam Newton, who was an MVP, went to the Super Bowl, 28th in scoring. Tom Brady under that same system that you're talking about, he was never lower than 7th. That's first off. And speaking of offensive coordinators and the systems, Charlie Weiss, terrible head coach. Josh McDaniels with a terrible stops, and he was awful also. Bill O'Brien, don't even get me started. When he went to Tampa Bay, that you mentioned earlier, under a new system, because you're talking about systems and quarterback and the talent, his first year there, 11-5 under Bruce Arians, threw for 4,600 yards, which was third in the lead at the time, 40 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, completed
Can I cut you off real
65% of his
quick?
passes.
Why are we mentioning that?
Hold on. Let him.
Yeah,
Hold
let
on,
him
nah, bro.
finish.
I'll let you talk.
I got you.
Yeah, let him finish.
I got you, Corey.
All right.
Just hold on a second.
Let me finish cooking, bro. Let me finish cooking. Because you talking about systems, system that, and system that. Brett Favre, Mike McCarthy, Peyton Manning, Tony Dungy. I mean, I can keep going on. And you got to think about some of these quarterbacks that had these receivers. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Joe die, T.O., Miles Austin, Jason Witten. I mean, like, my goodness. And some of the defenses he went against, bruh. You mentioned Eli Manning being an honorable mention, but you didn't mention the defense line that boy had either. Justin Tuck, Osi Umenora, Michael Strahan. I mean, like, my goodness gracious, man. Like, it's just some of these guys that you mentioned, and you're saying top 10 from that duration of time. But I'm going to get into the 07 season, which is when he had 50 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. MVP, 16-0 for the season. Perfect season, lost to the Super Bowl. And you sitting here trying to tell me that some of those other quarterbacks that you mentioned throughout that same duration of time, I can sit here and I can make a strong argument that 2007 season by itself, 50 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, was one of the best top 5 seasons by any quarterback known to man in the history of football. 50 touchdowns, it's like it was unheard of. You can say the same thing about 2010, where he won the MVP. He led the league in passing. First team All-Pro, 36 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, 111 QBR. Like, these numbers are unheard of. 2017, the same thing, man. Like, it's mind-boggling, bro, that you're sitting here saying that you're naming Donovan McNabb more talent. Okay, you can say he was more durable outside the quarterback, went to 4 straight NFC championship games. But to sit here and hear some of these stats, I mean, he was a 6th-round pick. He was 11-6 head-to-head against Peyton Manning, 7 Super Bowls. And I think one of the main things that really bothered me hearing you say that he wasn't a top 10 quarterback and in his entire duration while he was in New England was this right here. You know, John Elway had 6 combined game-winning drives in the playoffs, and Montana had 5. You know how many Tom Brady had? He had 6 in the Super Bowl by himself. He had 14 in career playoff comeback wins in the playoffs by himself, but he had 6 in the Super Bowl, bro. So to sit here and say about the system, you know what Belichick's record is outside in the playoffs without Tom Brady? How many playoff appearances does he have without Tom Brady? What his record is without Tom Brady? 29-38, a 43 winning percentage. That's another reason why he's in Chapel Hill with Jordan Hudson right now. That's the reason why nobody wanted to call him, because he's irrelevant right now, man. He's irrelevant right now. He's talking about comebacks. He's talking about comebacks and remarkable moments, and those moments that kind of change the situation. In 07, since we're talking about the system, let's talk about that Patriots defense. In 07, against the Giants, he had a 12-play, 80-yard touchdown drive with 2 minutes left in the game. But we're going to blame it. And you know what happened after that? Eli came right back down, 83-yard touchdown drive to win the game. But we're going to talk about Tom Brady and the system, right? Blame it on Belichick's defense. How about in 2011? 80-yard touchdown drive, less than a minute left, takes the lead. What happened? What about in 2017? A 70-yard touchdown drive against a backup quarterback to take a lead against the Patriots, and what happens? What happens? We can't sit here and pick and choose what we want to choose, man. Like, blame some of that on the defense also. If Brady's giving you a touchdown lead with less than a minute in the Super Bowl and you giving up the lead, you can't sit here and blame it on Tom Brady, because the defense, which has Hall of Famers and Pro Bowls on both sides of the football, if I recall it correctly, Stephon Gilmore was Player of the Year on defense, and if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I'm quite sure he was. But it's just the fact of the matter is, like, you can't sit here and say that he wasn't a top 10 quarterback throughout his entire duration in New England when he won multiple Super Bowls, multiple MVPs. Like, we're going to just throw all that out the window because he has this system in place. You can make an argument that Tom Brady is the system. Tom Brady is the system. However you want to slice and dice it, the numbers speak for themselves. The Super Bowls, the MVPs, the personnel, the offensive coordinators. Tom Brady is the system. He erased that whole narrative of Bill Belichick versus himself when he went to Tampa. Even in New England, with the multiple MVPs, the multiple Super Bowls, the throwing for 5,000 yards in the seat. Like, dude, like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't sit here and say they on Donovan McNabb and Eli, man. Like, over Tom Brady, so he wasn't even cracking the top 10 throughout his entire career in New England. Is that what we're really having a conversation about? Because that doesn't make any sense at all. I think everybody on this call outside of you, and this I'm being respectful by saying this, will completely disagree with you. And I hear what you're saying about, the personnel and the system. However you want to admit this, Chris, or what's your name, C?
It's Corey. Corey.
However you want to admit this, Corey, Tom Brady is the system, whether you like it or not. And the fact of the matter is, he did it at 43 years of age to win a championship. I rest my case, man.
All right, real quick, Corey, I'm going to let you counter, but I'm just going to say this. I got a couple points, and fellas, you want to get a couple points off real quick before I pass out to Corey so he can counter, and then I'll let Royal counter the counterpoints. About the undefeated season, I think people forget. I blame that game on Belichick, and here's why. This is a very underrated factor that a lot of people don't talk about. There was a point where New England was in position to kick a field goal. It was like in the second quarter. Belichick decides to go for it on like 4th and 10 instead of taking the points. If you take the points, you're up by a touchdown instead of being up by 4 late in the game, and the game goes into overtime versus losses. But a lot of people don't remember that. But I remember that because, Roy, I don't know if were you watching the game that day, Roy?
Yeah, I was with you.
I think you were. You were at my mom's house, at the old house. And I think I looked at you. I'm like, why did they not take the points that early in the game? It just didn't sit right because that Giants defensive line was applying so much pressure. I think they got Belichick out of character a little bit in that moment. But that was a very, very critical moment in that game. In a low-scoring game, you have to take the points like that. People forget about that. Just want to get that off about that game. Anybody else got any points real quick before I pass it back off to Corey?
Not for me.
Real quick. For those who don't know, I know Roy for 20 years. When he believes in something, he's just very passionate. So don't take it the wrong way, fellas. He's just very passionate. This is a disagreement. This is a debate. This is a healthy debate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? One person's the other side. So
I mean, we all grown. We all grown, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good.
No, I think the question I'm going to ask Royal pretty much said in his take, like, we got to account for that. You know, Josh McDaniels been in and out of New England throughout.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, we're taking a quick break in the episode to present an ad for Alpha Progression. If you're serious about building muscle and tired of the gimmicks, check out the Alpha Progression app. It's no BS, just science-backed training designed by real lifters and competitive bodybuilders. Alpha Progression has already been named the App of the Day by Apple twice, and it's the top-rated fitness app in Germany, now making waves worldwide. What sets this app apart? First, the intuitive workout logger. It's powerful enough for seasoned lifters, but simple enough for beginners to jump right in. Then there's the AI-powered plan generator. It customizes workouts from scratch based on your goals and equipment, with over 1,000 trillion input combinations. Quality-wise, this app has workout plans that measure up to the best personal trainers in the world. And it doesn't stop there. Their progression algorithm gives you exact weight and rep suggestions based on your performance, so you're always improving and never plateauing. And right now, we got a special deal for you guys. For you all as Assassin4 podcast listeners, get 20% off your first payment using this following link: alphaprogression.com/Savsin4. That's alphaprogression.com/Savsin4. SAVSIN4. Train smarter, grow stronger. Download the Alpha Progression app today.
Tom Brady's whole New England career. So the whole system thing, I didn't really believe in that, because eventually it's like, if it was like the same coordinator throughout the whole duration, you might have a point, but he had different coordinators during that time. And then all those coordinators that left to have head coaching jobs ain't worth a damn. Some of them even had to go to college because they couldn't hack as an NFL coach. But the only thing
let me counter that Josh McDaniels take. So I'm not sure if you remember this, but when Josh McDaniels was first with New England, the big talk was about him being the next big time head coach. That's why he ended up leaving ultimately, and they thought he was going to win the Super Bowl within the next 2 years. So he went 11-17 over that time span, and that chatter kind of died down because they thought that Josh Daniels was the system over Tom Brady. That's all the talk was when he was there with New England the first go round. That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah, and I agree with you because it was like I remember like he was the hot coach, and then when you see him go other places, and I think was one of the year he had like 10 Tebow, some shit like that, and it's like he got that Broncos team to the playoffs, and everybody's like, oh, he did such a good coaching job because Tim Tebow ain't really all that, but he did manage to win a playoff game and everything.
Was he there that?
He was. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I remember that game. He was there. He was the head coach of the Broncos.
So people was like, okay, now if he gets himself like another quarterback that kind of fits what he had in New England, he'd be better. But once they got rid of Tim Tebow and they put another QB in, it was still like it was underachieving. So that's why I never believed in like the whole Josh McDaniels thing. That's why he always had to come in back. He in order for him to save his career, he had to come back to New England before he got another head coaching job. So that's why I always felt like, Brady kind of had an edge over Josh McDaniels in that aspect. But my thing with Brady is my thing with Brady was like the first three Super Bowls, I would say I was really not thinking of him as that much of a guy. I feel like it was really more of a team effort. But after that, I really felt like he stepped into his own and being a generational QB. That's how I saw Tom Brady's career in my eyes.
While in New England?
Yeah, while in New England.
Okay, so you thought he was a generational quarterback in New England. Is that correct?
After those three Super Bowls, not when he first won the first one. Yeah, he had the game-winning drive that led to field goals, but I feel like that was like good defense. He didn't do anything to hurt the Patriots. But going forward, that's when he was like cycle time. You feel that's why I saw out of Tom Brady in New England. Like I couldn't stand him after those first three Super Bowls. The first three, I wasn't really looking at him as like that guy of the league yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I was the same. I was the same way, bro. Like I didn't think he was like that after the first three. I think the undefeated season, and I was like, all right, yeah, this nigga like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you just don't wake up and throw 50 touchdowns, bro. Like
that's my point.
Like a lot of people.
Can I go down?
Can't do that.
Corey.
I just want to say that, but yeah, go ahead, Corey.
Honestly, we're forgetting. Like we keep mentioning that 50, the undefeated season, and we keep mentioning the 50 touchdowns. Who was he throwing to? Please tell me who he had.
Who he had before that though?
But if that's the season that we're going to, we have to actually put all of the cards on the table. If we're going to put all of the context there, he literally had one of the top 2 wide receivers of all time that he was passing the ball to. He literally had was whatchamacallit at the time?
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker was there.
Welker was there.
Did he have Gronk at the time?
Yeah.
A couple years later. So he literally had we would say probably at that year, probably a top 5 wide receiving core, correct?
That year.
Nobody thought Wes Welker was like that though before
at
that
all,
season.
bro. Don't even try to make Wes Welker like a Hall of Famer, man. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
We throw a Randy Moss in there.
That's a cop out.
He had the top receiver, but I'm talking about the whole core.
Nah.
He had the number 1 receiver at the time for sure.
That's it.
Because how many receiving touchdowns did Moss have that year?
23. 23. He broke the record.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
That's over half.
No.
And how many passing yards did Brady have though? How many interceptions did he have?
All right, let's look it up.
50 touchdowns, bro?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go for
50,
4,800 yards,
50, 8 interceptions.
50 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 117 passer rating.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can get it. He completed 69% of his passes.
Crazy.
That's his best statistical season.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's his best statistical season.
And he wasn't top 10? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
I say
he wasn't top 10? That's just
that
1
year.
year. Respectfully, that was just 1 year out of his New England duration that I want to pinpoint because he said he wasn't top 10, in his opinion, throughout his entire New England career. And I felt like that year, even though they didn't even win the Super Bowl, I was like, yo, 50 touchdowns? You don't just wake up and throw 50 touchdowns, bro. Over 4,800 yards, like with Moss? Come on, man. That's okay. Crazy, bro.
All right, real quick. Corey, you want to finish your point?
Randy had 1,493 yards, 23 touchdowns on 98 receptions.
All right.
So that was
one more question.
one.
One more question. What was Randy's best season? What's his best season of his whole career? What's his best season? Is it that season right there? Or did he have a season better than that?
Maybe before
His
that.
rookie year was
That was
crazy.
his best year.
Yeah, his rookie year was crazy.
Yeah, I would say his rookie.
Statistically, that was his best year.
Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Off stat, that was his best year.
That's
Yeah,
when
that
he was
was
on the
his best
cover.
year.
I think he was on the cover of NFL 2K at that time too on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That boy, he was a bad boy in Minnesota, man.
No, he
Yeah,
was.
03 he had
today.
1,600. He had 1,600 in 03.
The good old days.
603. Yeah, he was cooking that.
All right, real quick. I'm just gonna play devil's advocate to another point real quick. You know what I'm saying? I like these debates. You know what I'm saying? You got one person that's dug in on one side, one person that's dug on the other side. You know, they're challenging each other. This is what debate looks like, not that BS y'all see on First Take. But
Defund ESPN. Unless you're giving us a job.
Aaron Rodgers, I know Aaron Rodgers was mentioned, and we know Aaron Rodgers is talented as a quarterback as he is. Arguably, Aaron Rodgers is a top. We want to talk about throwing the football, just arm strength, or top three probably just arm talent, right? But
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers' best season, he threw for 48 touchdowns, and this was in a 17. I think that's after they moved. When the NFL moved to 17 games, because this was 20.
Like 5 years ago.
21.
5 years ago, I believe.
Okay, so then
When
they
they
still
moved to
played 16 games that
17.
year, but this is the point. Aaron Rodgers had a year where he threw for 45 touchdowns in 2011, where he won MVP. He had another one where he had 40. He had a couple years where he was injured, but 48 is the most he's thrown in a season. So I'm just throwing it out there, you know what I'm saying? But continue.
I feel like his best year, or one of his best years, is the year that he beat Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, what was that? 2010,
2010.
I think. Yeah.
10.
Yeah, see, Aaron, that year people forget they were banged up. They barely made the playoffs. They were just scraped to get in the playoffs. It's like once they got in the playoffs, they just got hot. I remember they beat the Michael Vick Eagles team. I really enjoyed that Eagles team with Michael Vick. Then they destroyed Atlanta.
Shout out to Michael Vick though.
I mean, just
And then,
destroyed it.
What else is new about Atlanta?
Which is like Aaron Rodgers outside that Super Bowl year. This is a general question. Outside that Super Bowl run, since we talk about the signature mode, what signature mode does Aaron Rodgers have? It's a whole lot of almost, but not quite.
He got smoked by Kaepernick. He got smoked by Kaepernick.
Yeah.
2014 against the Seahawks, they had him and do whatever. Aaron Rodgers had some bad luck in the postseason, but people forget in 2020 he went head to head against Tom Brady when Tom Brady was in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember early that game he missed Devontae Adams on an easy slant route. They ended up kicking a field goal. Then for some reason, LaFleur didn't want to put the ball in Rodgers' hand to win the game. I feel like with Aaron, he just had a lot of. Actually, no, I'll give you a signature moment. Dallas. That throw he made.
Yeah.
Dallas.
No, that was a throw to the tight end to get them in field goal range for Mason Crosby.
Yep. 2016
in the divisional round. Yeah.
Okay. That was just a joke. That had nothing to do with the debate. I was just wondering because I was going back. I'm just looking through his stats and he has some crazy stat lines. Like I say, Aaron Rodgers. If you want to talk about talent, I'll give you talent, like for sure, like mobility, arm strength.
Talent, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like Aaron just doesn't have.
He just
really.
I don't know if it's because the schemes, the gameplay, or whatever it is. Because we got to think about when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, he had home field advantage in most of these playoff runs. So the fact that he didn't make when's the last time he made it to the NFC Championship game? Was it against Brady? Or was it
Brady?
Brady.
So that was 2.
Remember, 2021 they were the 1 seed, and the 49ers
beat them.
Came in there and beat
them.
Yeah. And I feel like that was like their last great chance to really do something.
I think with Aaron Rodgers, it was one of those things where he was just too talented to a fault where he didn't want to listen to anyone. He knew the play that he wanted to run, and he felt like the play was going to be better than whatever the coach could call. Because we even know, because we hear Trav say it, that in Green Bay when LaFleur got there, he couldn't do half of his playbook. He had to do a lot of plays that Aaron Rodgers wanted because Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to run any of the plays that he wanted, and he was actually motioning out of those plays.
For sure. You know what's interesting? You said that, Corey, because this morning I was getting ready and they had Get Up in the background, and they mentioned that was actually an issue of Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh last year, where Arthur Smith wanted him to just stick to the script, and Russ wanted to have more control at the line of scrimmage. So I'm gonna pass it off to Roy and Brad because y'all are the Steelers fans. Do you see this being an issue with Pittsburgh coming up? Because it was an issue of Russ last year. I didn't even know it was an issue until they mentioned it this morning, but they said that was an issue with Russell Wilson towards the end of the season. Russ wanted to go to the line of scrimmage and make certain changes and stuff at the line, but Arthur Smith wanted him to stick to the script. Do you foresee this being a problem projecting forward to this season?
Apparently, before he signed with Pittsburgh, he had a long talk with Mike Tomlin. Allegedly, a lot of stuff is just rumors, but they said he had a meeting with Mike Tomlin about that, and apparently he wouldn't sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers unless that wouldn't be like a problem going forward. Now, with that being said, a lot of times you can say stuff before somebody signs, and then things change when it's a heated moment when the game starts. So if they if they start out like 0-3 or something, he's gonna be on a hot seat. Obviously, it's gonna be a lot of talk about Mike Tomlin leaving. Is his offensive coordinator the right fit for Pittsburgh? Arthur Smith, don't get me started. Even I think from his NC State days, I believe he was just been a mediocre coach, in my opinion. And I wish we had somebody else, but you deal with the cards you dealt with, and that's how I feel about it. I think that it could be a problem. I absolutely think it could be a problem. If that does happen, in my opinion, I will let Aaron call the plays, but I still think Pittsburgh still is missing a number 2 receiver. I like Calvin Austin, but I feel like you need somebody outside DK Metcalf, because when you play against the Ravens, who just loaded up on the defensive end also with 2 number 1s, in my opinion, on the outside, and then Cleveland, their defensive back, no joke either. Like, it's just the AFC just in general, just to beat those top teams, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, like, you got to have some thoroughbreds on the outside DK, man. You just do.
And on your DK point, DK is a good wide receiver talent. But he's one of those wide receivers you could easily take him out of the game if you really want to.
Yep.
That's why he got rid of George Pickens, man.
That's why I was so confused
it's
about
the same
that.
thing. It was the same thing.
Yep. I would love to have both of them. Like, you have George Pickens and DK. Like, I take my chances on that versus DK and Calvin.
I'm glad you brought that up because I thought that's what you guys were going to do, and I was hoping that's what you guys were going to do. That's the offense that I was hoping to see from them.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is, and a lot of people just don't understand that Arthur Smith likes running a lot of 21 personnel and having multiple tight ends on the field. I don't know how that's going to fly with Aaron Rodgers, because Rodgers likes to spread the ball around a little bit, but he does like his ability to go over the middle in certain cases. He likes those Donald Driver, Alan Lazard type receivers that are more possession and deep threats. DK is going to want to have to go down the field. Now, you've got a 41-year-old quarterback coming off of 2 terrible seasons in New York. Is his arm ready to throw the ball down the field to DK? I'm not sure. You lose Najee, so that's your safety valve out of the backfield receiving the ball, although we do have Warren, who is very capable of that. And we also drafted the other running back that's a rookie, I think, like out of Oklahoma State or whatever he came from. So to answer your question, I thought the season is going to go like this. It can go one or two ways. We start off hot, everything is good, and it may get kind of rocky once we really get into the division, but somehow we end up having a 10-7, 11-6 year, and we make some miraculous playoff run, maybe to the divisional. The opposite of that, because I really don't think we could be able to beat Kansas City. I don't think we'll beat Baltimore. We'll struggle against the Bengals and we'll struggle against Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So us getting to the Super Bowl, if that's what people are thinking, that is a pipe dream. Now, the bad part of that is this. If we start off rough, I can see it now. Pat McAfee's going to have his show. Aaron Rodgers is going to pop up, and the first words are going to come out his mouth. He's going to blame Tomlin. He's going to blame Smith. And then it's going to be off to the races the rest of the season on Tomlin versus Rodgers. Who's going to win that battle? And it's going to be
who's your first 4 games? Who's your first 4 games? If y'all off the top, if y'all don't.
The Jets, At
Jets,
the Jets. Mm-hmm.
You better beat
Minnesota and Ireland.
Yep.
Okay.
Did we play Cleveland in that first four?
I think so.
I forgot the other fourth game off the top.
Somebody look it up real quick. But to add on
y'all should beat the Jets. Yeah. It was like what was that game last year?
Justin Fields. It's gonna be bad. Let me tell you why it's gonna be bad. I just want to get this point off. Again, I was listening to Get Up in the back as background noise, but I kind of was listening because they were at the Steelers camp and they were Steelers fans talking about they would rather start Mason Rudolph and we didn't want Aaron here, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So the fan base is already.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers already has some of the fan base fractured as is. There's a lot of Steelers fans that didn't want Aaron Rodgers. They really wanted to start Mason Rudolph. I know what part of the Steelers fan base that is because we talk about there's certain pockets of the Steelers fan base that are just very how can we say it, MAGA.
F-150, F-250, Confederate flag. Can I keep going? Like, is it safe for me to say? Like,
oh yeah, y'all play
red
Seattle.
hat wearing. Like, we had a big. Trust me, being some of these Facebook groups that are Steeler fans. You have a very much divided front when it comes to coaching staff and moves and who should start at quarterback and we should have. I mean, it's crazy.
Y'all play Seahawks and Patriots after the Jets game.
Y'all should go 3-1, at least 3-1 that stretch.
When I did my prediction, which I will deep dive into that further as we get towards when we cover the divisions one by one. I had us going 3-1. I felt like the only game I really had us losing was Minnesota was a toss-up game because it's in Ireland. I just don't think we have enough to cover Justin Jefferson. I think he might have a big game, and they end up pulling it off with a semi-rookie quarterback who got hurt and didn't play last year that's arguably going to start this year. But the way our defense is set up, we should give him issues, so I don't know.
JJ's going to be starting that game?
Yeah, he's starting quarterback. He's
starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, I got y'all winning.
Exactly. I thought the same. I forgot about him starting.
I got y'all winning.
Yeah, I forgot about him starting. I'm sitting in the house.
Only because Mike Thomas' record against rookie quarterbacks or quarterbacks that just started is he's gonna dial that shit up.
That coordinator, I think Terrell Austin should dial up something to mess with JJ's head that entire game. So if we start off 4-0, great.
Y'all played him.
That's
we played them
game.
That's week 4.
That's the fourth game. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gonna have some tape. Y'all gonna have tape on them too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's week 4. Yeah, we go over to Ireland. Yeah.
TJ Watt just got paid. Shit.
Yeah. TJ got paid.
Fuck him. I'll say it for you, BT.
My bad. I know.
Legal hit. We can go there another day.
Some wounds don't heal, man.
I get it.
But Dre, real quick, I'm gonna drive the conversation elsewhere real quick, and then I'm gonna pass it off to our Panther fans. What's going on with Terry McLaurin, bro?
That man want his money. Adam Peters is we playing a good old game of chicken. So we're just going to see how this joint rocks. We're going to see if Terry's going to be the company man and just show up on the practice field, or if eventually that wide receiver diva that all wide receivers got in him is going to spring out. He's going to be like, man, I just want my money. Now, mind you, I understand you've been playing with some bitch-ass quarterbacks for majority of your career. You finally get a good QB, and you saw the results of that. And it's like, hey, I want to be paid just like some of these top wide receivers because I had more yards than some of the top 5 wide receivers, or I had more touchdowns than some of the top wide receivers. I guess my only thing with Terry is you trying to get paid off of one season sample size. And I was like, if this was like 2 years, if he was coming up 2 years, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead and get your bread. But you're on the contract still, and I understand you want to get like your $8 to 10 million bump or whatever on the annual, but we just gonna have to wait and see. I mean, I understand why he's upset, but at the same time, it's just like, if you really want to be about the team, just show up. If you really want that contract, we're just gonna be on a stance with that. It sucks because I'm a huge Terry fan, but I ain't gonna tell the nigga not go get his money. But at the same time, how long you gonna sit out there? How long you gonna keep chasing?
You know how much he's asking for? I didn't mean to cut you off. I was asking, how much is he asking for? What do you think the range is he asking for? I know he's asking for probably top 3 receiver money.
Oh, he definitely wants that over 30, but it's like,
damn.
okay, it's like you're not Jamar Chase, you're not Justin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not them. Now, are there wide receivers that are getting paid that amount or like that 29 or 28, 30 route that you're better on? You probably are. So if I was them, I'm like, it's a safe number, 31 mil, 32 mil, and call it a day. But the thing is, it's like what Terry has to understand, and I understand this is a business. You get that 32 mil now, you definitely got to perform this next 2 years at least. At least. And don't gotta be about the yards. It's gotta be you gotta at least keep your touchdowns up. Cause you got a number one QB and your touchdowns skyrocketed. Cause Terry's problem is he would get you yards, but the touchdowns wasn't there because the QB just not seeing him. So now you gotta keep it. I can see the field better. You gotta keep them touchdowns.
Facts.
That's facts.
And to my Panther fans, anybody heard anything? I know we just had our first practice today. Anybody hear anything good, bad, ugly, otherwise?
I think it was just a typical first day of training camp, bro. They said defense and backs was doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Those rookies, those rookie edges said they're really getting after it. They're attacking the O-line and they doing dirt to them. The only reason why we haven't seen video of that because they almost got into a fight. So I love that. I love that shit. Keep that shit.
Was Bryce wearing his red jersey today? Because it seemed like he wasn't, fam.
I mean, I'm cool with the DNs. You know what I'm saying? You know, your rush on anywhere. But don't hurt the quarterback, bro. Don't do that shit, bro. That's
don't hurt the franchise. Don't hurt the franchise.
They got red jerseys on for a reason, man.
Yeah. I'm all for you being competitive. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing, but bro, if you want to irritate the fan base, bro, and get your ass booed back to Ole Miss, don't hurt the quarterback, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't hurt the quarterback.
T-Mac, he showed some crazy footwork. I did drop that video in the chat. That was some insane footwork. Like, that was very impressive, especially because a lot of people said that he didn't have any footwork and he was slow and like that was a lot of things that was placed on him. But them hands are crazy.
That nigga can catch that rock.
Yeah. He gonna give a boy a run for his money. He gonna give a boy a run for his money.
I got a question for y'all real quick before we go. Yeah, just be completely honest because I see both sides of it. Did y'all think Ryan Clark was super out of pocket for how he came at Cam?
Yeah.
Get up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Royal. You know why he was out of pocket? Because how the same person today went at Cam the way he did, well, you was the same person that told Kimberly Martin to chill out when she did what she did to Cam. You're the same person. You told Cam to like, hey, we gotta keep it about sports. We gotta keep it within the line. We shouldn't be attacking Cam personally. After his keeping takes about game changers versus game managers. So then you just did a complete 180 and was like, oh, no, Cam, you can't be saying that stuff because you have no Super Bowl. You ain't dive on the ball. Like, you attacking this man's character. You wasn't keeping it within the lines of the discussion of why Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 QB. So I was actually disappointed. I was actually getting disappointed with
I was
RC
very disappointed
today.
because I do like RC as well. But that and also, I mean, we want to talk about how he discusses that bitch ass person. We already know where this is going because he always says like, don't bring up anything personal. Let's talk about their sport. Da 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 da. You literally did the exact same thing. So that's two examples of you trying to correct somebody else, but you came out and did the exact same thing that you spoke out against.
Exactly. And I have a love-hate relationship with RC. He went to LSU, so of course, I like that part of him. But sometimes, and I like the pivot too, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes he says some dumbass shit, bro. And this is one of those times he said some dumbass shit.
Yeah, I like RC, like when he played for the Steelers, but some of his takes sometimes go left field. And I'd be like, RC, rein it back in. Like, that was out there. And then sometimes he'd be on point and he'd keep it real. And I'm like, okay, that's the RC that I know. So I didn't see the clip that is being discussed in this point, so I can't really say nothing towards that point. But, Cam has been a polarizing figure since he was really at Florida as a backup. So people bring out a different emotion when it comes to Cam Newton. And I think when y'all posted in the chat, it was like they're attacking the messenger instead of the message. And I agree with that. Like, listen to what the man has to say because he's been there and done that. But don't attack just the messenger because it's like that. I thought it's a cop-out. We all know he didn't dive on the ball. For whatever reason, he didn't dive on the ball. Okay, fine. We can leave that alone. That's in the past.
I mean,
can I say this about the dive on the football shit? I'm tired of people acting like he didn't dive on the football that was on like the goal line that could win the fucking game.
Exactly.
If he would have dived on it was going to be a 4th down and long.
Thank you.
They was going to punt that shit anyway.
We were going to punt the ball. It was 3rd and long when
we were down like 11 anyway.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We
4th and 15. The game was already done. It was less than 4 minutes in the game.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
And then T.O. too, bro. I can't forget about this nigga, bro. Like T.O., bro. He gonna bring up the whole thing too about doubling on the football. They're gonna say he got the dreadlock, Skip Bayless quote or whatever. Like Cam said, bro, you ain't getting along with half your quarterbacks. Like nobody really fuck with you like that, bro.
True.
Like what you talking about?
I'll say this. I may not always agree with everything Cam says. And I'm starting, like I said, I'm glad he put that other video out today where it was like more in depth of like the reason why he felt the way he did. But I'll say this, he mentioned it during that second video. He was like, hey, you know, a lot of us in the media are too buddy and too bros with other people. And like he always said, he's been on this from the get-go. I told Jalen Hurts to his face, you know, your talent doesn't really allow you to kind of expose your true talent outside of your Super Bowl year. And like he's saying, like, you know, I let him know that to his face, and I'm letting him know, like, right now, this is not personal. It's just like, this is how I feel about it. This is how I feel about it, and this is, this is where we're gonna go with it. And I'm glad he's doing that because a lot of this media stuff, a lot of people just put stuff up for clickbait and hot takes, and like literally he's telling you how he feel, and he's being authentic, he's being himself, which a lot of people are rubbed wrong by it, just like they were rubbed wrong by his true self when he's playing quarterback in Carolina. Like, but he's being himself at the end of the day, which is kind of rubbing people the wrong way at the same time.
Exactly.
Yep. Real quick, I have you got like 5 minutes, Royal. I know we're going to be at Media Day tomorrow. Anything to look out for, like UNC, State, Duke, or ACC in general?
It's gonna be crazy tomorrow, man. Like that's why I'm leaving here at 3 a.m. to get down there so I can get our seats and stuff. But like a lot of people, everybody's anticipating Bill Belichick. Obviously, they announced today that every home game is sold out, which is crazy.
I did see that. I saw that. That's
gonna be crazy, bro. Like
that's crazy. You can't go on any website now and get a ticket to a home game. You have to get it from a reseller, and the resellers are selling them for like thousands of dollars. It's insane.
The resale is crazy right now, man. And then they got Clemson coming tomorrow too, and Duke State. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how the vibes is in Charlotte. Everyone wants to see Bill Belichick. I'm sure Jordan Hudson ain't gonna come up a bunch of times, obviously, but
facts.
A lot. I just want to see how he's going to kind of react to like this is like his first media day for college football in Charlotte, the home of the ACC. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm just glad to kind of be a part of it. And like next year, like I really want y'all to come too. That's why I had hit y'all up, a couple months in advance. I know everybody's work schedule kind of crazy, but like I really want y'all brand and y'all podcast to kind of make it, bro. Cause like literally, like y'all be getting like crazy views and like the content be like really, really good, and like you being yourselves also. And I really want y'all to be a part of this, man. Like they got basketball coming up in October.
Over or under 5 questions over or under 5.
See what you think, because it's kind of different when you ask them questions out in the media like that, like and out in the open, like they.
Because in the press room, he might deflect in the press room, but we go to the break room where it's more like
one-on-one.
It's more like one-on-one.
Intimate.
He'll probably be a little bit more receptive to certain things.
I just want to know: is he going to wear a suit or the powder blue hoodie tomorrow? That's all I want to know.
He gonna wear that powder blue suit?
Probably, yeah. I think he probably has something blue on for sure.
It'll definitely be powder blue something. Suit, track suit, something.
Now the question is Jordan Hudson gonna be there?
Oh, most definitely. She will be there.
Know, man.
She will be there. I feel like she'll be there. There.
And if she there, then you may have to change your over under. Then Brad, that's probably gonna go to 10 because
that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said like if she's there, the over under might be 10. Like.
I think if she's there, they're gonna eat her up, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man, I agree with that. I do agree with that. If she's there, she get it. So he might just tell her. She might just stay in a hotel room. She might just be there.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
So
I think they'll probably fly down tomorrow.
So we're gonna be able to sit on ACC Network and get up on Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be on TV tomorrow. They said get up. They'll be on TV. Get up supposed to be there tomorrow. I think.
T, she's gonna be out at Prohibition. That's what she's gonna be at. He'll be outside.
Outside of the city.
Dave, what we tell the people, man? What we tell the people, Dave, what we tell the people, man?
I lost your mind, man.
He said prohibition.
All right, man. You already know what to do, man. Subscribe to the pod. We appreciate everybody for watching and listening to this episode. We hope that you liked what you watched and listened, man. More content is gonna be on the way as we get towards football season. We hope you like the taste of the football debates that you got today. More of that is on the way. So make sure you follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, X. Yep. Go ahead, Dre.
Now I'm just saying, expect a lot more of that, man. Football season, all that kumbaya shit go out the window. The NBA season, we more aligned, but football season, it's fuck all that shit now.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, Dre, because Royal is not the candidate to vibe with. He ain't with that kumbaya shit. Where's the
clip? That's cool.
Is it Corey?
Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah, it's all love, man. Like I said,
it's love, baby. It's love.
Yeah, I said, I know you don't know me like that, so like once you get to know me, I'm just very passionate about when it comes to sports, and like I know a lot of times the messages on the group chat can be kind of like misinterpreted, but it ain't nothing like that at all. Like it's just all love from my standpoint.
No, it's love. It's love.
That's how. And for people that don't know, this is how you fucking do it. This is how you fucking do it, man.
It's never personal, man. Like Nino Brown said, bro, it's never personal.
But yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, share, subscribe. YouTube, if you watch on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button on any podcast streaming platform you listening to this episode on. Yeah, go ahead, T.
Also follow at the Juice Network at the Juice NC. We'll have some media day content on there as well.
Yes, sir.
I'll be out there.
Got the noties ready. As Katie will say, I got the noties ready.
Facts.
Well, shoot, man, Royal, we appreciate you coming on today, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to all your good people doing a great job on Juice Network, man. Y'all really be pushing out some good content. Y'all ask the real questions. I always look forward to y'all media day work. So, man, I hope y'all bringing that heat tomorrow again, man. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, guys, appreciate another great episode, man. Of course, we got my boy D, Dr. Esquire Day. We got T. We got my boy GM Brad, and then of course we got 910's finest BT, and then we got my boy C Note, man. We appreciate the good conversation, the good dialogue. Hey, yo, this is Assassin 4. We out.